So there's a big mystery on Twitter right now. Many people are wondering why H3H3 genuinely deleted some videos of his with Jordan Peterson. Because those videos were actually quite popular. They had millions of views. And he claims that the reason he deleted them was due to the fact that Jordan Peterson is a gateway to the alt-right. And he doesn't want his channel to be part of that system, that pipeline which brainwashes kids. Now, no one is believing that. Anyone who actually reads Jordan Peterson knows that he's an individualist, which means that you need to be in control of your own life, not other people. So you need to be self-reliant, self-sufficient, and only when you achieve that can you be a productive member of society. Because a society where every single person is self-reliant and self-sufficient is a better society than where people are cogs in a machine and you only have a couple of leaders that tell people what to do and what to think. So the alt-right and the far left, they use identity politics and they're collectivist in nature. Which means that both of these ideological groups are at odds with Jordan Peterson. If you go on the internet, you will see that people from the far left, as well as people who self-identify as the alt-right, they do not like Jordan Peterson. They view him as a threat because he can take members away from the ideology. So the idea that Jordan Peterson is pushing people to the alt-right is absolutely ludicrous. And this is why people are questioning the decision of H3H3. Now, I made a previous video where I said that it's possible, due to the fact that if you look at the subscribers of Ethan, he is losing a lot of subscribers, that out of desperation, he is trying to appeal to a wider audience. He is trying to enlarge the audience of people watching him. And while this may be true, Tim Pool came up with a different perspective, one that I didn't know of. Apparently, Ethan got a strike on his channel. So a strike on your channel, if you're a YouTuber as a profession, if you make videos constantly and you treat this as a job, which I'm pretty sure Ethan does, it's kind of like being put on a PIP project. For those of you who don't know, when corporations want to fire a person, they usually need legal grounds to do so, so they put you on a personal improvement project. And a personal improvement project is something that you're set to fail, and once you fail that, they can fire you without a hassle. So they're not afraid of lawsuits or anything. Like, hey, you failed the personal improvement project. And it's the same with YouTube. Like, if you get a strike on your channel, it's a big warning. Especially when you're someone like Mr. Ethan Klein, who's got hundreds of videos going back years, in a time where the YouTube terms of service were a lot more acceptable and a lot more lenient. YouTube, in meantime, has not only decided, like, for example, a joke used to be a joke in 2016, now it can be hate speech, even though the terms of service haven't changed. But the interpretation of the terms of service is a lot more strict. So you could have made the joke back then, and it was fine, but the moderators now can look back at it and they go like, okay, that's not fine, that is hate speech. So they can give you a strike on your channel. Alternatively, there are new terms of service that didn't exist then and are applied retroactively. I have seen people being punished. Like, for example, having links in your about section on a video. If those links lead to something lewd or to a website that YouTube doesn't approve of, boom, a strike. That didn't used to be the case in 2016. You could have put anything you wanted, right? So people who played by the rules back then now can get in trouble. And apparently, Ethan might be worried about this. He might be afraid that YouTube is going to crack down harder on him. So he's trying to, I guess, like, change his content. He's trying to appeal to the mainstream. But the problem is, like, what is the mainstream? Because no one knows what the mainstream really is. For example, are gamer words mainstream? Now, a lot of people will say, no, but you look at South Park, they have no problem using gamer words. If it's in a funny manner, if it's not in a mean-spirited type of way, if it's just in a joke. So you can have things that go on South Park that you would never be able to have them on YouTube. So that is the major problem. And I don't know if this is the case or not with Ethan, but I do know that this is the case with many other YouTubers, some of them that I used to love to watch. And I don't like to watch them now, not because they are bad people, but simply because their content isn't something that amuses me anymore. Perfect example is Papa Gundam, right? So you have, I believe, like 2 years ago, this YouTuber, it's a Gundam, comes out of nowhere and he makes some of the most hilarious videos. I mean, I thought the dude was working for SpaceX because he kept sending my sides into orbit. Every single video. And he gets a couple of strikes. He gets put on the personal improvement project. And what happens is that he starts toning down his content. He starts watering down. He starts cursing less. He starts censoring the curses. He starts avoiding certain topics. And then YouTube cracks down even further on him. Like, he used to have this puppet, which he made lewd jokes with. And apparently all the videos where the puppet is featuring got age restricted. I mean, like YouTube really, really liked messing with this guy. To the point where now he is so benign. I don't even think he makes video about Twitch girls anymore. He's like a mini Jeremy from The Quartering. Nothing bad with Jeremy, but I wouldn't consider Jeremy to be funny. You know, like I don't watch his videos to laugh. And it's the problem. Like, I used to watch Gundam to laugh. I wanted my size to be in orbit. I wanted my size to be next to the GME stocks to the moon. But apparently, we can't have that. And this is not Gundam's fault. It's not even Jeremy's fault. I think Jeremy would be funnier, because I spoke with him in private. He's a funny dude. But it's the platform. The platform doesn't allow you to be edgy. It doesn't allow you to be funny. It doesn't allow you to have your own thoughts and opinions anymore. Every time you upload the video, you're worried, oh, is this video going to be problematic? Oh, is this video going to trigger the algorithm? I mean, the algorithm is so bad. Just so you can understand, there was this YouTuber that I saw on at Team YouTube on Twitter, and he was playing a video game. It was an indie game. I forgot the name of it. But like during that game, which was a parody, you had a black flag, not a pirate black flag, but a Middle Eastern black flag, if you know what I mean. And the game was mocking the ideology with that black flag. Like, it wasn't trying to promote it or anything. But the algorithm saw the flag, so it took down the guy's channel. Like, for 1 second. Just because he was playing a video game and it was like promoting hateful organizations or something like that. And I'm like, Jesus. Right? Because you don't get human reviewers. Like, any human being that would see that would recognize, all right, well, clearly this is a video game and the guy isn't promoting anything. It's not against the rules. But it's probably an AI which noticed that, flagged this channel, boom, immediately taken down. So people are stepping on eggshells here. Like, we're really scared because you don't know what the rules are. And because of that, you have to self-censor to the point of ridiculousness. Because it's up to my best judgment. Like, I don't have a guy from YouTube that tells me what content is okay and what isn't. Neither does anyone else. So what happens is like, oh, well, this seems a little bit edgy. Okay, let's not go with it. Let's err on the side of caution. And the problem is, it's not my channel or Ethan Klein's or Tim Pool's or whatever. It's the fact that the content is dropping in quality. Like, there are less things to watch on YouTube. It's becoming less and less funny. Why? Because all of the entertainers are living in terror and dread. Like, we don't know which video is going to end up being too spicy or is going to trigger the algorithm or anything like that. So you start acting irrationally. You start deleting Jordan Peterson videos. You start going back in time and you're deleting videos from the past. And, like, think about it this way. Like, you have tens of thousands of videos, like in the case of Tim Pool. I mean, in the case of Tim Pool, it's clear that he's not going to watch all of them. He's not going to start looking at them video by video to see, okay, is this problematic? No, he's probably going to delete all of them for a year. This is also why I delete my live streams. A lot of people ask me, like, why do you delete your live streams? It's like, well, if you live stream for more than 2 hours and you constantly speak and you speak, you don't know if the algorithm flags a word or something, because I have a Romanian accent. And when I say the word cannot, like can't, the YouTube algorithm, which translates everything you say into text so that it can then be censored, it understands that I say the word with a U. So like I'm saying a slur. And I got many videos demonetized because of it. And you file for an appeal. But I think that the moderator who appeals this, because I do think there is a human review, at least when it comes to monetization, he looks at the text. He doesn't actually look at the whole video. Because, like, think about it. If a moderator would watch hour-long videos, like, there would be no way that YouTube would be efficient, considering, like, the vast quantity or thing. So they're watching just, like, the part when I say it, and it's like, oh, it's the slur. It's in the first minute of the video. He is violating the monetization policy. Bam. And it's probably why a lot of VTuber girls got strike as well, because the accent. Like, the AI doesn't understand the accent, and a lot of censorship on YouTube is happening because of the AI. I mean, they find something problematic, boom, triggered. So, I guess, like, maybe if Tim Pool is right, what Ethan likes to do is, like, if he gets now banned for something silly, or for something trivial, if he gets a strike, he probably expects people to defend him. It's like, come on, this is Ethan Klein. I mean, he deleted the Jordan Peterson videos. Clearly, he's not a right-winger, blah, blah, blah. I don't really think that this is the case, to be honest. I don't think that Tim Pool is right on this one. Simply because big channels like Tim Pool, big channels like Ethan Klein, they usually have a connection to YouTube. Like, they actually can talk with a human person. And I genuinely don't think that he is afraid of getting suspended from the platform. I mean, look at Tim Pool. He talks about certain topics that are so edgy that if anyone else talked about them, they would probably get in trouble. So no, I don't think that. I do think, however, that Tim Pool does open an interesting conversation, because I do know other YouTubers who do actually censor way more than is necessary. Just to be sure that they're not being placed on that personal improvement project. So, it's sad, and I don't think things will change anytime soon. I don't think that what people on Twitter are saying with the petition to fire the YouTube CEO is a solution, because you're going to probably get a CEO that's even worse. I mean, we saw it on Twitter. The first thing that the guy does when he reaches that chair is he advocates for even more censorship. So, no, I don't have any faith that this is going to change. I think, at best, things will remain the way they are. At worst, it's going to get even more censorious. And from my personal observation, censorship just goes one way. It never decensors things. Like, it never, like something that is taboo never becomes acceptable again. They do become acceptable in society, but they don't become acceptable on YouTube. So, once the terms of service are set, they're rarely being dialed back. I mean, for those of you who don't know, in 2016 on YouTube, as long as you didn't show any explicit violence like gore and stuff, as long as you didn't show anything lewd, and as long as you weren't explicitly asking for hate speech or encouraging people to commit crimes, you are fine. Like, those were the rules. That was the terms of service back then. Now, you get, like, YouTube Academia. I'm not kidding. Like, it's actually called YouTube Academia, where you have pages upon pages upon pages of rules that you need to follow, and guidelines and everything you need to do. I mean, even deceptive practices are now considered against the terms of service. Like, you're not allowed to encourage people to do deceptive practices and whatnot, and they have, like, this entire course where they tell you what those are. I mean, it's just, wow. And when you go to the monetization policy, it's like an almanac. I mean, there's, like, criminal code books that are smaller than the monetization policy of what you're allowed and not allowed to do. It's ridiculous. And the reason it's getting like that is because nothing is being removed. Like, they just add things to the list, but they never remove them, even years later. So, I don't know where the platform is going to go. Like, everyone is going to be super serious in the future, wearing a suit, and be like CNN news anchors, and have to say allegedly after every sentence. And it's like Tim Pool does. He will say, oh, so this guy, he's controversial. I'm not a big fan of him, but I'll defend on him on principle. Like, he has to say that. He has to say that so he doesn't get attacked by the media and say, oh, look, Tim Pool is a supporter of this guy. Meanwhile, you have the media and their rags and outlets, which can be as edgy as they want. They can push as much misinformation and disinformation as they want. They can do literally anything, and you have to compete with them. So your boring content, which uses allegedly as a punctuation sign, and you can't have any edgy guests, and Jordan Peterson is already way too edgy. Yeah, good luck competing with BuzzFeed or whatever. And I think this is the main problem. It's like the media, pushing YouTube to censor more and more so that their competition becomes castrated. And you really can't put out content anymore that's even remotely funny. So, we'll see. Someone like H3H3, it's in the name, right? It's supposed to be comedy. Yeah, good luck making comedy in this environment. Let me know what you guys think, though, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.